What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Gabriel. I like to talk about stuff Power Ranger related, any comic book stuff I like to talk about. If you see my channel, it's mostly Power Ranger related because I'm a big Power Ranger fan. And today I want to talk about the Power Rangers movie from 2017 that is going to be rebooted by Hasbro. Yes, this movie is going to be rebooted, completely new cast. There's going to be no more of the original cast from the 2017 movie. It's going to be a brand new cast. So I want to talk about why it's probably being rebooted and how it can be more successful with this new reboot, what kind of direction they could go into, plot, storylines, and where they can go from there. So let's take a in-depth look at why this movie's being rebooted and the entire cast is not coming back for this reboot. Alright, so when this movie was first announced, it was announced with a brand new cast of people that we had never even heard of before. I mean, mainly some of them you had heard of before, but no big names besides, obviously, Becky G was already a performer when the movie came out. She was pretty well known. But since this movie has released, the cast has gone into different fields of acting, into movies, TV shows, Netflix, etc. And they have blown up to the point where they wouldn't want to come back for a sequel for less money as to what they make, opposed to what they make now. So Dacre Montgomery is the Red Ranger, played Jason on the movie, and he is now well known for his role as Billy on Stranger Things, which is probably more than money he's making there than he made from the Power Ranger movie. And so now he's raising his icon up in Hollywood as he wants to do bigger things. And I'm sure they wanted to bring him back, but not as much money as he made from the first movie. He probably wants more. So they're decided to go with a whole new cast that's less costly. So we're not bringing Dacre back. To the next Ranger, you know, we have Becky G has been a performer for a few years, and she's only gotten bigger since the movie. You know, doing a lot of more collabs with these big time singers, you know, J Balvin, all these people, Maluma. There's so many big names that she's merged with, and it'll be a lot harder for her to bring her back for another movie as well. Ludi Lin, you know, Ludi Lin has been in Aquaman. He did Black Mirror, so I'm sure he's getting more opportunities for Netflix shows, so they won't bring him back. RJ Kyler, who's working on projects right now too. You know, he's been in a few things since Power Rangers, and I'm sure he's building up his brand as well. Naomi Scott, who's recently known for her role as Jasmine in Aladdin. She's also coming out with Charlie's Angels, the reboot of that movie. So it's definitely clear that this cast from the Power Rangers movie is not coming back because of how big they've gotten since the movie, and they want to not use a whole lot of money because that movie, the 2017 movie did a $100 million production budget, and I don't think Hasbro wants to spend that much again. Because the movie only made 142 million, I believe, worldwide. So it didn't do that well. So they want to probably lower the budgets and see what they can do with a brand new cast. But now let's see what they can do to make the movie better. So I think for this movie to actually succeed and do well, it needs to pay more homage to the original TV show. And that includes casting Zach as a black guy who can dance. Because everybody knows the original OG Ranger as Walter Jones as the Black Ranger. You know, he was most well known, I think, and I think it should definitely keep it as it was in the original show, casting Billy as a white nerdy guy, and just exactly how it was, because this is supposed to be rebooted off the original, and this movie, it kind of changed things up when it went and casted in different races for roles that we knew, you know, as the originals were. I mean, if you're going to cast a white guy for the Black Ranger, it might as well be Adam, who was brought on later, and bring in Rocky or whatever. I mean, it depends on the storyline you want to go to, but if you really want to, I think for it to succeed, it should be exactly how it was in the original, because I think it upset a lot of fans. If you're going to reboot the original movie, then at least make it to who they were in terms of races casted as they were in the original show. So I think that they should get a cast that knows karate already, kung fu, their own stunts, you know, like acrobatic actors that can really put on a show, especially when they're fighting out of their ranger form, because that was one of the best parts about, you know, the original show, was watching these actors, you know, fight. Their choreography from knowing karate was like amazing, you know, especially watching, you know, Jason David Frank and Austin St. John, you know, even Johnny Young Bosch, when he was a Ranger, he did his amazing stunts on his own because he knew how to do all those flips and stunts and karate and everything. And that was amazing to watch. So if you bring that into the movie, I think it would be a lot more entertaining, and watching the fights, you know, when they're not morphed would be a lot more entertaining as well. So for this new movie, they need to introduce Tommy in this movie. I believe 100% that Tommy should be in this reboot. Even if it's a reboot of the first movie, we're not waiting to bring Tommy in the sequel. Tommy needs to be in this movie because Tommy is a huge centerpiece in the Power Ranger universe. He's still a centerpiece today. Why do you think everything that comes out, whether it's like legacy items, toys, even the show, you know, Tommy's in it somehow. You know, Tommy was just in the TV show last year. They brought him back because he's such a fan favorite. So Tommy needs to be in this movie. And he can use the Green with Evil storyline. Maybe he's part of the villains in this movie in the reboot. But he should be in this movie because it will definitely draw more audience to the movie to bring Tommy into this movie as a main centerpiece of the plot. So as far as the villain goes, I think the villain should be Lord Zed over Rita Repulsa. Only because I think Lord Zed would be more of a better foe against the new Rangers as opposed to Rita. I don't know, like just the whole Rita from the past 2017 movie wasn't very intimidating. If you can make Lord Zed a more intimidating, scary character villain, then I think it would be a better storyline to bring Lord Zed in as opposed to Rita Repulsa as the new villain in the reboot. The Zords in the movie, they weren't exactly the best Zords to create, let's just say. I mean, if you want to pay original homage to the OG Power Rangers, do not make a Mastodon that has 6 legs. You know, make one that looks like the original show. I think there was concept art for, you know, that was unused that looked like a way better Mastodon as opposed to the one that came out. And you know, I know movies want to go in new roles, new directions, but we're talking about a show that, you know, inspired kids so many years, and if you go up and change it really a lot, it's gonna make like fans upset, and that's how it is nowadays. They want it to be like really pretty close to what they grew up with, and I know that Zord's particular was not anywhere near towards what we grew up with. So definitely change the Zords, and please bring in the Dragon Zord. I don't care if it's completely CGI, but at least make it, you know, an appearance in this new movie, because this will definitely please a lot of fans. A lot of people go to see it. So if this movie does well, if this Hasbro reboot Power Ranger movie does well, I don't believe they should make a sequel to the movie that they come out with. I think they should start a whole new universe and make another movie that's an entirely new set of Rangers based on another TV show. So it could go like in space, it could go Lost Galaxy, and start there, and then like Marvel, different universes, and they all gonna come together somehow, some way. You can merge them in sequels, but I think start out with the reboot, and then if that does well, then do another movie that's based off another Power Ranger show, and the fans alone will, you know, bring the money to the theater. But if you want to go in the direction of like how Marvel goes, because they come out with so many different movies with so many different heroes, do so many different Ranger groups as movies, and I think that could be the start of a great, you know, a great universe. You know, because the show is still going on. I mean, you talk about 25 plus years, the show is still on TV, the show is still making toys, and people collect this for years because they love it. So why not make it a movie universe as opposed to just a sequel after sequel after sequel of the first movie? Because sequels don't always do good as the originals, right? I mean, you make a sequel, you see a lot of sequels, they're not, you know, just start a universe and go from there, take that risk. But I believe it will be great, and hopefully the fans think it too. You know, those are just my ideas, those are my opinions. Hopefully it comes into action, and you know, we can see it someday. So thank you for watching. So let's make it happen, guys, and you guys have a wonderful day.